Yeah, sorry, cut it short.
Yeah, so like I was saying, I think it's really sad. We're in a country where the skins of our politicians are more important than the well-being and the skins of the people. And the people would rather be sacrificed for the well-being of the politicians.
But talking about people voted for El-Rufai. Who are these people that voted for him? I remember in his first term, El-Rufai sacked 20,000 teachers. That was taken out of wages. I mean, like, these teachers don't just earn salary for themselves. There is an aftermath effect. You know, there are people who depend on them. Their spouse, their siblings that depend on whatever these guys earn from the government. So who voted El-Rufai back in 2019?
I don't know why it's difficult for us to say this sometimes. But I think we have gotten to that point where we must admit it. That many a time, many of these governors, many of these political figures that are voted into power do not get there through the votes of the people. There's always some background work going on that, and now these are just mere allegations, and these are mere feelings. And in the eyes of the law, our feelings do not count unless there's evidence to back it up. But I do feel that many a time, most of these persons who come back into power do not come there because they merit it. There's always some work that has gone on in the background that sort of undermines the votes of the people many a time.
Jaja, let's go back to PDP.
You're on mute, Jaja.
Let's go back to PDP. Is there anything PDP can do to regain power in 2023?
Definitely. PDP is in pole position, despite all the intrigues and dynamics that are at play. I dare say PDP is in pole position to seize power. It's there for the taking. But the major first step they need to take is to reorganize their house. They need to organize their house immediately. And with the soft landing by the Board of Trustees for bringing the convention 2 months forward, we do expect that whatever it needs to do from their world congresses, their local government, state congresses, and their national congress, they're able to realign as quickly as possible and choose a candidate that would be acceptable for all and begin the process immediately. I expect them to be a bit more boisterous. I expect them to bring a party chairman that is dynamic.
Who are those aiming to become the national chairman of PDP?
To be honest, as we speak, it's difficult to identify who has or the parties that have signified any interest. But I believe that the stakeholders in the party will have to window shop for some of these candidates or potential candidates who would be not as cool as Secondos, a bit more vibrant, active.
Radical.
Yeah, I'm just imagining.
Radical, you say?
Radical.
Just imagine, for the sake of this conversation, just imagine a Dino Minai as the chairman of PDP. Just imagine.
Or Dino Melaye as the publicity secretary of
or the public. Oh God.
Oh my God.
The ABC will now have
there's somebody I like to be the chairman of PDP.
Who is that?
Bode George. He's well articulated.
No.
Oh goodness.
No. You do not want that baggage.
We need someone that is vibrant.
Bode George is very vibrant.
He has a lot of look. See,
there's a lot of
in
baggage
fact,
with Body George.
APC will be so happy.
Are you joking me?
So let me explain to you why. Let me explain to you why. Yes, we are crying that we need an opposition, and we need someone who is able to hold the tough and call APC to order. That's what the people want. However, let us not lose sight of the fact that Nigerians are a lot more enlightened now. If you want to win them over, you need to do things or be seen to do things that appeases them. Will a Bode George, although his conviction quashed, one who has that much baggage, do you reckon
when you say baggage,
be...
Bode George was acquitted by the Supreme Court?
Can I go on and I will explain to you what I mean? Do we want someone with that much baggage? Do we think he would appeal to the people of Nigeria? That's an important question a PDP of today has to answer.
Appeal to me.
You need someone
I'm a Nigerian
who appeals. He doesn't appeal to me, for example. He won't. The reason is because, notwithstanding that he was acquitted, we all know the backstory beyond his acquittal. At the trial court, he was convicted. The Court of Appeal maintained his conviction. Through technicalities, he was acquitted at the Supreme Court. This is somebody who people now see as having stolen money from Nigeria, gone through the court processes to establish that. Do you want such a person to lead a party like PDP that we want to be a vibrant opposition? No. You want someone with a lot less baggage. Now, we're not saying any of these politicians have clean hands. No, far be it from me that I would allege so. Nonetheless, we need someone who has a semblance of clean slates, if I would put it that way. A semblance, I say. And someone who has the voice of majority. I don't think Bode George has that at the moment. Eloquence is not courage. You need to have both eloquence and courage for you to stand against the APC of today.
If I may butt in, Ben, I think I would even ask a more relevant question. Which state has Bode George won? He's the leader here in Lagos, and Lagos PDP is dead. Lagos PDP has failed to make any inroad. One could say, yes, the dexterity of Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu may be a factor, but if you are as vibrant, there's a lot of discontent to turn the tide towards PDP side in the state.
Jaja, apart from Dino Manai, Dino, who else are we looking at?
Well, to be honest,
Ifayoshe
would have been okay, but to be honest, I would rather a northern person or a person from the north. Dino is from the north by the way, Kogi, although Yoruba, but from the north. We need someone from the north. The reason why I would prefer that is the expectation of where power would reside. Now, if anybody wants to be a national chairman at that level, you have to realize that there's this delicate balance between north and south. So whoever would be the chairman from a particular broad region, say north or south, that definitely the presidency would have to now naturally go, though it doesn't always follow that pattern, but a gentleman agreement to bring about that. Personally, I cannot pick one or two persons to be. Maybe this person is now back, Donald Duke is now back to PDP, maybe he could be, but he's not vibrant.
Is he vocal enough?
We need someone that is vocal, who can go thuggish if they need to, because APC, when they bring out their people, they don't play.
Let's not forget that APC once had somebody who was thuggish, vodka, and they lost 5 states.
APC?
Yes,
you mean?
APC, yes.
Yeah,
Adan Soshomole.
Now,
I don't think there will be anybody that is more crooked and rugged than Adan Soshomole.
Hold on. I think we're missing it here.
Okay.
And this is what I mean by that. We want an opposition party in Nigeria. Not just on paper, but one that voices and stands as a proper opposition. Today, the only opposition to the APC government are Nigerians. Nigerians are the only ones who come out and are vocal enough to point out the wrongs and ills of the ruling party. That said, Jaja, I beg to differ. Yes, I understand the mathematical reasoning behind your thoughts on, or your opinion on why persons who would hold the position of the party chairman may not come from the same geographical region as the person who will then contest or become president. However, if PDP wants to get to the point of being able to stand and win the hearts of the people again, then it must do two things. One, it must bring someone who the people accept. And two, it must shun geographical location in appointing or deciding who this person is. Nothing stops the party after it wins the election, if it does win the election, to then make proper changes by making reshuffling and removing persons who would be seen to come from the same region or geographical region as the sitting president, whoever that turns out to be. And it's on that basis that I do not think a Donald Duke will be strong enough to lead the PDP. While it has the clout, I do not think he has the voice.
Okay, now I think I have to put things in perspective, right? And I'll respond to that, Collins. Now, we're looking at someone who is a winner, a governor who can command and get the attention of his peers.
A winner.
Yes.
He contested for presidency under SDP. He didn't win.
But he has been a two-time governor.
Man,
he has been a two-time.
That guy left power in 2007.
Regardless,
has happened since 2007, Jaja.
Regardless, it's just like, if I can use a football analogy, Ronaldo leaving Premiership and coming back, he's a proven winner. So the point is this: let me not belabor that. It's just a pick. It's not like, the casting stone option. No. It doesn't even work that way. To be honest, is what we need is someone that has that first of all can command the attention of governors. Now, people don't understand. In Nigeria, the politics of presidency, by and large, a block that swings that reality or brings that to fruition is the governors. You need to be able to command the respect of your governors. That's one. It doesn't have to be a governor, but he must be able to command that. Someone who is able to give direction to the National Working Committee and be able to booster that kind of opposition, that vibrancy.
Something just came to mind. You listing these characteristics of somebody that can be a good national chairman. Somebody came in mind.
Which I agree with.
Somebody came in mind. I think Peter Obi will do a good job.
Peter Obi. Peter Obi that everybody wants to be president. Well, I don't know.
I mean, if he can be president, he can be a good national chairman. And somebody who commands the respect of governors, like you said.
Do you think Peter Obi, what's the reach of Peter Obi in the north compared to Duke?
Yeah, he has been a vice presidential candidate. I
don't think we should listen to him.
If you call Peter Obi somewhere in Cantagora, will the average person know who he is?
If you call Donald Duke somewhere in Cantagora, will the average person know him either? I mean, we have to remember that. Talking about who is going to be the national chairman, let's remember that Baba Kande was the national chairman of APC when APC won the election. He was in vodka.
So you just made a comment now that seems to make sense in this aspect, which is that possibly we could have a chairman that may not be what we are expecting. But then if you have party followers, or rather other executive members, like a publicity secretary.
Exactly, like Lai
In the
Mohammed.
party.
He did
Because
part of the
during
job.
Bisa Conde's
Gentlemen.
time, it was
Lai Mohammed.
President
Gentlemen.
Lai Mohammed that was
If I
public
may-
secretary.
if-
And we know what he did. Give it to
if
him.
if I may butt in, that is exactly that's the point I've been trying to draw all along. A party, let's not because of Oshomole, because apparently he's the only noisy chairman that we know, to be honest, that comes out in the front and cause those kind of rancor and rambunctious shenanigans around. No, we're not looking at about such character. We're talking about a leader that can lead, command the respect of your peers and those who are your peers, command the party, understand the nuance of the party, give leadership, and bring the government head on. So much so that if they bring EFCC, they have nothing on you. Even if they bring their shenanigans, DSS, they have nothing on you. Do you understand? So it's not about being out there talking. Most of the chairmen, even Oyegun did not talk. As you said, BC Akonde did not talk. The person that was talking was Lai Mohammed and other people that came after him to, So well, anyway, a Donald Duke, a Dino Milai, someone may not be, but we need someone who is bold, who is vocal, and who can lead the party in the direction that will enable them clinch power. And I believe that if they get it right, then they have a very, very good chance of clinching it in 2023.
Just 1 minute. Since we're still talking, who is the national leader of PDP?
PDP does not have a national leader.
When you say national leader, I don't think
PDP does not have a national leader.
I remember Secondus did call when Saraki defected to PDP. I have a reason for asking that. When Saraki defected to PDP, he was given the title of the national leader of the party.
Secondus.
When Saraki defected to PDP.
And Saraki was given national leader tag.
I think there's a reason for that.
Yes.
There's a reason for that.
I don't quite recall.
It was on TV. I don't know if Jaja saw that.
I don't quite recall.
I can't, but I can. If that were to happen, then I reckon there must be a reason for that.
Anyway, he was the number 10 man in the country, and he was the
Definitely.
highest office holder in PDP.
Yes. So but be that as it may, you cannot.
Sorry, Jaja. Collins, don't forget Saraki defected to PDP while he was still the Senate president.
I'm aware.
Go on, Jaja.
So yeah, as I said earlier in the first part of our conversations, PDP has very strong power blocks and interest. If you juxtapose a Saraki, say to even an Atiku, he's still, let's just call him a medium weight. It was literally Atiku that, aside the tutelage of his own father, he also went under the wings of Atiku to also grind his political teeth. Atiku is not a today politician. This is someone that's been there since the 1980s stroke the 1990s, up to 1999 and going forward. He's a man of consequence, and that's just one person.
It is not said within the PDP fold that Atiku is like Ogburu of Delta State. He only comes out in the election.
Well,
in the last 2 years, Atiku, nobody has heard about Atiku.
No. That is not factually correct. Now let's put it this way: Atiku has been part of the national discourse, however, through several mediums. He has been on social media. He has been on the national dailies. In fact, there are 3 times he has put out 3 interventions concerning the economy, concerning security, concerning issues of national.
He has not been that vodka to like now. All of a sudden, he's everywhere now. He's being a party man now.
No. See, we have to situate this thing in proper context. In fact, I can tell you the 5 people who, by and large, have been engaging both the public and even this government. 1, of course, obviously, Wike. 2, Autumn. 3, I know you may not agree, but to an extent, Tamboa. 4, Atiku. Atiku has been there. He has been having conversations, and you can say maybe a Dino and a little bit here.
I think I agree with you. I agree with the only 3 people. Iwike or Tom has been very vocal.
Very,
Tom,
very
what's
vocal.
going on? Where did he get his strength from, Collins?
So I was amused. I have no idea. You are correct, you know. But maybe I think he took advantage of the fact that the people of Nigeria saw what was going on in the north, saw what was going on in his home state, and then he took advantage of the fact that Nigerians were clamoring for better security apparatus in the north and rode on that. And it has worked for him. And if you observe, that's what he's always been. He's clamored about, he's shouted about and all of that. And that has been his argument against the center, that the center has abandoned him because he's PDP. The center has abandoned him because they do not align with his views, and they would rather that his state is overtaken by bandits and the likes. It works for him, and I reckon that's where he got his strength from. But it's quite impressive because before this electionary cycle, or before the last elections when he came into power, I did not know who Otom was beyond his state. I didn't even know who he was, even in his state.
I think Otom has been in politics since the 1990s. First,
I don't argue that. I'm saying that
Otom was a local government chairman.
Yeah, I don't argue that.
He was the same class of local government chairman with Wiki.
He was the local government chairman.
I'm just saying that in terms of, so I knew Wiki even before he became governor. Wiki was always vocal. I only got to know
Otom. Funny enough, Otom and Wiki were ministers together. Otom was a minister of trade and investment.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Even as a minister, I didn't know so much about him. He was just there. It is now he's coming out.
So, but I think just to further bolster your own point, Collins, the truth about Otom is that he's just an example of a typical politician. However, what his own case just signifies is that when you stand with your people, you cannot be wrong. He was in PDP, rightfully so, but when PDP did not reckon with him, APC took him and he became governor. But Otom did not betray his people. When he saw what was going on, rather than keep quiet, he stood, kind of like what Akere Zulu is also doing as well. I won't, because I'm in your party, now be a wet blanket and, start backtracking, keep it quiet, and see my people die. And the people now insisted, please move to the next party. We are comfortable with you there and we'll support you. And he did, and he won in a landslide.
He did the Godfather, Black Blue. How do they call it?
Akume is a stake. I won't even call I don't reckon Akume as a godfather, with due respect. The moment he left the PDP for, he's neither here or there.
No, you can't take that. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. Akume is.
I said
Akume is strong.
He's strong, but he could not bring one APC senator from Benue State.
I mean, that is.
So, Jaja, you said something earlier on.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say.
You said something earlier in this meeting about certain persons not bringing people from not being able to command their state and then win their state from a political perspective. Come on, cut them some slack. We must agree that not the major political figures we have in Nigeria today, not many of them win their local governments during the election cycles. Exactly. Not many of them win their awards.
And don't forget, Benue State is quite peculiar. Apart from Akume being on the other side, majority of the known politicians are with PDP. So with David Mark, former Senate president, what was it called? Susan. He's a senator now, former governor for 8 years. And we have that senior, is it Mauro? I can't remember his name. The guy.
Very difficult name, very difficult.
You know the guy that took Nigeria youths to the stadium to kill them.
I know Abo something. Is it
Abo Maro or something?
Abo Maro, that's him. He's a senator now. He's actually a senator now. you know. So those guys are
Gentlemen,
all in PD.
Abamuro or something like that.
Gentlemen, I must quickly put things in perspective. The first thing about, yes, I'm not discounting Anson Akume, please don't get me wrong, but I don't reckon with him in terms of the results in recent times. One can argue that, well, because Akume, the former governor of Benue State, I'm not discounting anything that he has done. I mean, one could reckon that he, in Autumn's first ensure his victory, but truly, was he the one that ensured Autumn's victory, or was it the wave of Buhari that was sweeping the north? Those are questions that we must ask, because many people, as you mentioned, when Collins was trying to analyze that, people don't get the vote of the people. The truth is that sometimes the vote of the people do count. And in the instances of some governors and senators, it's on the back of Buhari that they became who they are and still remain who they are. On their own standing, they cannot command their words. On their own standing. Now that Buhari is now going, everybody's nakedness will be exposed. And they will now see. That is why they fought so hard to ensure that the Electoral Act did not see the light of day, because they would all be exposed for who they are. Most of them don't have political value per se, with due respect. Now, when you talk in terms of politics and to be seen as one to be a force to reckon with, first, you're able to command the numbers any day, anytime. Two, you're able to dictate the dynamics of or direction of the politics of your state. Whether as a leader of the state itself, or even as an opposition. But with due respect for Akume and some other people that tout themselves as leaders, I just don't see that. And 2023 is going to be a year of reckoning.
Okay, Collins. I mean, we stayed so much in PDP. I mean, like I think we're just brushing around the whole country, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess we're just going round and round and seeing how things are doing
how things
from different parts. I think the guys who are more important are hitting the points we're discussing anyway.
Yeah, let's look quickly into PDP Anambra State. So Ekwunife was made the campaign chair. Do you see PDP coasting home in victory in Anambra State?
Myself or
This is an election.
Collins, sorry, Daja.
This is an election. Who do the people want more? I have said it before in our previous charts that the person to beat in this election is Chukwuma Soludo. So whether PDP will coast to victory or not depends on whether they can carpet Chukwuma Soludo. That's my personal view in the Anambra election.
Don't forget, Obi is a big factor in them. We've
no doubt from
the Anambra discussion. We've excluded him. He's a massive factor. He's a crowd puller. You know, you don't see Obi delivering PDP, Anambra to PDP.
Me? Okay, to be honest, if Obi could have delivered Anambra to PDP, then one would have expected in their last election, the second term for Obiano, he would have been able to bring, is it Obi Osesu? I don't know his name. I know it's Osesa. I don't know. His candidate.
I know who you're talking about, the diplomat.
I'm not sure who I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, that was the PDP candidate.
Osaluka or something. I'm not so sure.
Don't worry about his name. We know he's a diplomat.
So, not that the truth about Anambra State politics is that it's one of those states where you know for a fact that politics is local to the core. As Obiano done
Obaze, that's him. You got that right.
I got Oseluka now. So here's the thing. In Anambra State, Abga is still by and large in pole position for that slot. More so now that Chukwuma Soludo's candidacy has been upheld by the Court of Appeal. I suspect they will still appeal it to Supreme Court, but that now is at least a bit settled. Well, I don't know. For Obiano, he may not be the most fantastic governor, but then he was just a bit was a bit above average. So I don't see that as an impediment to even Soludo's chances. For the PDP, they will definitely give a very, very big fight. There's no doubt about it. They have aligned strongly behind is it Vincent? What's his name now? Their candidate, and I believe that they'll be able to, give Abga a good run. But I still wager that Abga would definitely win this election, because they're in pole position. The only thing now I fear is how Soludo would go about his campaign, because Abga is a grassroots party. It's not a party that speaks above its people. It speaks to its people. It persuades, try to make them understand why they should continue in this trajectory. So it will be left to see how the Anambra people would want to play. But personally, I think if they choose Soludo, it will be a new dawn for Anambra.
Okay. Let's look at data quickly. The next door state. Collins, you are from Delta State. There's been a massive political fight going on in Delta at the moment. We saw a video, a picture of Senator James Manager kneeling down before James Onanefe Bori the other day. I mean, that was quite a funny one, isn't it?
Let's clarify. Come on, we are gentlemen and reputable gentlemen at that. Unless, of course, Ben, you are saying you have not seen the full video. But if you see the full video, you will know that James Onanefe Bori was praying for his people. And when he got to his turn, when he got to James Manager's turn, he knelt down for the prayer as well, and then sat down. And on the full video, I could also hear Bori saying, if you know how far Manager and I have come.
A prophet now?
No. I'm getting to say, he was saying something about, if you know how far Manager and I have come, we've been together for many years.
They have. James was
he's my man and all of that. He was literally praising James Manager. Yeah. So James Manager was not kneeling down to beg him or anything. They were just having I think it was an informal gathering, and somebody decided to be mischievous and then shared that picture and it was out of context, really. That said, I think the infighting I'm more interested in is the one in APC in Delta State. We see that the present minister for state for what's his name?
That's a massive.
Festus
Keyamo, and the president and our deputy senate president seems to be they are on opposite sides. They are not having a good time. Many people are of the view that Oviyomo Agege will be the next APC candidates, governorship candidates, a flag bearer for APC for the governorship election coming up in Delta State soon. I like what's going on in APC at the moment. I really, because prior to now, if you ask me, I do not know how much stance he had in Delta State. I would like to see APC wield some strength and stand in a place where it can, contest the doings of PDP in Delta State, have a voice of his own. Maybe this infighting would lead to that. If they come out strong from this, they would be a good opposition to PDP in Delta State. And this is by no means saying that
APC seem to be quite strong in Delta Central, but I don't know about Delta South and Delta.
Oh yeah, Delta Central owns APC, or rather, would I say they own APC, or they have a good footing in Delta Central? That's the Robos have a good footing in APC, and the reason is because of Oviyomo Agege. And if you also.
Great Oboru. It's not even Great Oboru. The person that really introduced APC to Delta is Tega Omero.
Yeah, no. I'm not. That's not what I'm saying, Jaja. I'm saying the reason why there is a strong PDP central followership for APC at the moment.
At the moment, is because of
It's because of the deputy
his
Senate
position
president.
as deputy Senate
Yes,
president.
that's the reason why. It's not no other
Definitely.
reason.
No, okay.
I'm not saying who brought this Delta State. No, that's the reason why. And if they are able to influence the other regions in Delta states,
but just 1 minute,
the way
Tega has been quiet though. Nobody hears about him anymore.
I don't know why.
Yeah,
Okay,
Jaja.
If I can quickly butt in, to be honest, I thank God Collins has clarified the video in question. But to be honest, of course, the main fight for the governorship of Delta come 2023 now seems to be properly situated between Delta Central and Delta South. The South argument is that they have never had a shot at the governorship.
They have.
Whereas
they have.
With who?
With Emmanuel Odua.
Okay, yes. When I say South, I mean Ijo.
The problem. Let me come in here. The problem with Delta State is if they want to play that game, that means they should allow the ECAs, because from every senatorial district, there are different languages, different nationals. You know, just like in the South where you have the Shakiris, the Jaws, and the Sokos. You know, apart from Delta Central where you have the Robos only. In Delta North, you have the Anyomas, you have the ECAs. You know, the ECA man has just been the governor. He's going to complete his 8th tenure. What about the other nationality in Delta North? I don't think they can play that game. That game won't go well with them anyway. But carry on.
I beg to differ because at the end of the day, the question about the lot of things that bring about the outcomes of the election, the main one is one's ability to win, right? So, but that is the main question. If we look at the issue of rotation, by and large, it has been observed in the breach, whether in PDP, APC, or wherever. Though it's somehow the people tend to enforce what should be called rotation, right? It's not something that is really respected, both internally and even across parties.
Unfortunately, we have to end this conversation here today. Collins, your last word to our viewers.
I like the Nigeria of today. From a youth, I've been thinking about this lately, and from a youth perspective, and how determined we are, how we want to make things change. However, we shouldn't call for this change on social media alone. We should actually come out there and make this change, and that includes now that registration for voter registration is going on. We should come out and be registered. We should take steps to have our cards. 2023 may be far, but now is the time to start preparing.
In less than 10 seconds, Jaja.
In addition to getting yourself a voter's registration card, I also employ people to actively join a party. Currently, the parties are opening their portals for registration of members. Okay. I think it's important that people join the parties as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you, viewers, and see you guys next week.
Bye. Bye. Bye-bye.